Yeah, I understand soccer's my job.
Good. Damian Las technically has been, I think, a little superior than the other three goalies.
Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not my entire identity.
Right.
I feel like nowadays there's players that retire and some of them make more money after they retire.
They do, 100%.
Being an entrepreneur or real estate or whatever they have.
Mine is survival, but if you wanna take a shot at the title, automatic, you checking your
It's easier to get lost in that because there's like a lifestyle of an athlete.
Yeah.
I like football as well and boxing, but like for example, like baseball.
Yeah.
Like I've been to one baseball game and I thought it was the most boring sport ever.
Well, they're having trouble. That's why, like, so.
So I don't know if I can say that on here.
Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind, been a real good, yeah, all in my prime, it's about that time.
For the public too, there's a big difference when you go watch a baseball game and watch a soccer game.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's not like you're just grabbing your hot dog and just chilling.
No, there's a lot more
You know?
passion into it.
Yeah.
A lot more
Baseball's more
energy. In England, like when I played at like a 5th division team, I had 12-year-olds, I had like senior citizens, and the thing is like the goal's there.
Yeah, they're like
and,
right.
and it's
they're like right there.
a yard away, and like they're right in
yeah,
there.
they're basically right here.
Yeah, and like some of the stuff they said to me, I will never forget. But
12-year-old kid.
Yeah, 12-year-old kid. They're like 70, 80-year-old men, and they had like just like a pint of beer.
Yeah.
And they were just drinking it, and they're like right behind you in the ear.
The hooligan.
Set him all in my prime.
Hello, everybody. Episode 37 XR Podcast. Me, Greg here as always. And today, two special guests. We got brothers, actually. David Las, who just joined XR about a few months ago.
Yeah.
And his
I mean, a
brother-
couple, and he has 200 contracts.
And he's got 200 contract closing next week. And we got his brother Damian here. They're both from the neighborhood. So, guys, thanks for coming. I guess we'll start with David, man. Tell your story. Tell us how you got into real estate or.
That's been something that I've been thinking about for many years, but I never really pushed through with it. It was more something that I was like afraid of. I was like, oh, maybe I won't succeed in this. Like, there's been people that have told me like, oh, like you can't do this, you can't do that. And then, you know, finally I told myself, let me just bite the bullet and just go with it when it comes to real estate. Yes, you know, obviously we want to get paid out at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that people are happy with the purchases that they make.
But you've been in, sorry, my voice today, guys, is terrible.
We're going to put in subtitles.
I'm
don't
under
worry.
the weather. But, I mean, you've been in sales job
Yeah.
as well.
I actually just
So,
won.
and service.
Yeah.
Okay.
You made a couple adjustments, and boom, boom, you got a client. The next thing you know, you got 200 contract.
You know, all I did was reach out to a bunch of contacts that I had.
I mean, I don't want to give us whatever.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Whatever.
No, go ahead. No, finish.
We're good.
we can't. Go ahead. No, nothing. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it in.
But
You were saying?
anyways, I was saying I don't want to give us ourselves too much credit, but I know you worked in a different company before us,
That is correct.
and you know, and you had to be pretty much you had to do some stuff, apply some system to be on top of mind with your own sphere, and then people called you.
Yeah. I mean, you guys gave me a lot of help. I
Yeah.
mean,
Before you were like a secret agent, I feel like.
pretty much.
You know.
You did the work. We just nudged you in the right direction, and then things just happened, right? It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, here's new clients. You take, no, you had them. You just weren't exposing yourself right to them.
I mean, the clients, they're always going to be there.
Yeah.
But if I don't reach out
Right.
and make a move, then I'm not going to succeed in this business. And that goes for any agent out there.
Yeah.
Correct. And then plus there's certain stuff you got to do, right? It's not only exceeded, it's the video. It's like what we're doing today. You're doing a podcast, you're doing a social media post, and you're working. They call you, you go out there. Like these clients were not that easy, right? Frank, he went to Elgin. Where were you?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the work is there. It's not
So,
like
I mean-
it sounds easy when you use
I mean,
your
people
mouth. But
talk, they think it's easy. Everything is easy, right? Oh, it was easy. He just, woke up this morning and got 200 contract. No, you busted your ass,
For the property that they bought, I think I showed them around. And
Yeah.
a lot of agents don't do this.
Yeah.
So I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I went a little bit above and beyond. I showed them probably around 27 properties,
Exactly.
give or
Wow.
take, somewhere around there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like we have your brother today here. Actually, Frank forgot to mention he's a professional soccer
Well, we're
player.
just gonna get there.
I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
I can't get this big.
I mean, I'm trying to compare the story about hard work. Just like David, he's a culture of hard work. His family taught him about
Yeah.
hard work and sacrifice. That's why his brother became a professional soccer player.
My name's Damian Las. I'm a goalkeeper for Austin FC, and I'm born and raised here in Norwich, Illinois.
That's right. We were talking a little bit about it. How it's like, okay, there's different tiers, but even the big teams, like let's use Chicago Fire as an example, they have like 20 teams.
Yeah.
So you can not be the greatest, and you could be still play for them, but you're not going to be on. You're just going to be there paying like the big money, but not paying at that level.
Yeah, so growing up, I played for the Norwich Park District.
Oh man.
Yeah, I played there when I was younger. Played there till I was like, played there when I was 3 till like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Played there for a couple years, but when I was younger, I was a bigger boy, so I was like 4, but people thought I was 6.
Yeah.
So I
Parents
played-
yelling.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
So I played up because I was.
Yeah.
That's what my parents said, that I was
Yeah.
a bigger kid when
Yeah.
I was younger. So I played with like 6, 7-year-old kids, and then David. Not many people know, but David is the main reason I was inspired to be a goalkeeper.
Oh wow.
Yeah, David, but also I didn't like running at the time, so
I had that same problem.
yeah. But my brother was a goalkeeper, and
Okay.
he was training as well. And my brother,
Yeah.
I look up to my brother, and he's a huge role model for me.
Yeah.
And I think ever since I was younger, I saw him like being goal, and I was like, hey, I want to be interested in this. And then so from Norwich Park District, I played, and I joined the Polish youth soccer team.
Okay.
It's called P&A.
Okay.
I was there for 2-3 years, and then from there I went to the Chicago Magic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from there, like you go to like what happened? You're like, okay, I don't want to play on this team anymore. Or like, hey, there's a better team.
Yeah, there's a better team.
You're just
Like
like
they
a-
were interested in.
Were your parents involved, or
Yeah.
was it recruiters? They saw you play and are like, hey, he could play in this other team.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of both. I
Bit of
think,
both? Okay.
yeah, my parents were pushing me to take the next step
Okay.
as a younger kid, but
Yeah.
also there was coaches surrounding my parents, like
Yeah.
telling them that like your son should move up and
Yeah.
My dad was a huge influence on that. Like just watching everything. Like all the years, obviously my brother was a little bit younger, but I could see it a little bit more. So my dad was on phone calls, just like
Yeah.
I was surprised, like as if it was literally his agent, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of, like Damien said, my parents played a huge factor in this. But
I mean, family is huge
Yeah.
for a soccer player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get to places, you gotta have a solid foundation.
Yeah, I think the foundation that my brother and I have in our family
Yeah.
is, I mean, it shows
I
like
could tell.
throughout David's
Yeah.
David's time here now with you guys, and
100%.
throughout my journey as an athlete and
Yeah.
even as a person. I think like the morals
Exactly.
and the beliefs that we have as a like family, and like you said, the foundation is
Yep.
established, and it
Yep.
was established ever since
Yep.
we were younger. So.
Yeah.
So you go to the Magic. You're there.
Go
for,
to the Magic. Yeah, I was there for 3-4 years.
Okay.
And then my goalkeeper coach from the Magic went to the Chicago Fire.
Wow.
And then I moved there with him. And then I was with the Fire.
Oh, so your coach left, and he's like, hey, come to the Fire
yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
Wow. And like the youth team, right?
Yeah. So so it was like the MLS Academy. So
Yeah, yeah,
the Chicago Fire have like an MLS Academy. So I went to play for the MLS Academy in Chicago Fire. I was 14, and I was there for 3.5 years. And then when I was 17, I signed my first professional contract with Fulham.
Wow, in
Wow.
England, yeah. So, but you think you skipped a part? You were playing also. Like, how did you get to Fulham? Like, you didn't fly to England and say, hey,
No, so I played for the youth national teams, the U.S. youth national teams.
U.S. national team, yeah.
Played for the under 15s, under 17s growing up.
I mean, that's like, sorry to interrupt you, but that's, you have a Wikipedia.
Yeah, you got
You
Wikipedia.
actually have, you could search your name. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have one.
He was trying to get one.
I'm trying. You see me doing all this stuff. I'm trying.
Right? Yeah, now he's gonna be mad that you
And
got
I saw
Wikipedia.
And I saw you played for. I mean, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So you played there, and you played you'd play would it be like the same tournaments the U.S. national team plays in, or is it they kind of mirror each other? Or how does
Yeah,
that-
so it was just like kind of like youth. It was like as if like an academy player had like just like tournaments, but it was just like me playing against the best of the best from like my age group.
Yeah.
In like Brazil.
Wow.
So it's like pretty much like same thing like the senior national team.
Yeah.
Like they have like different tournaments
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. So you're mirroring like
Yeah.
okay,
Do you
they're
recall?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Frank. Do you recall playing against like some big player right now?
Yeah.
Let's say like I don't know.
Morgan Rogers, he plays for Austin Villa.
Okay, Austin Villa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have teammates now. Like I played with Giovanni Reina.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Do you
played
play
with.
with Wea McCain, the Juventus American player?
No, I play with Gianluca Busio. He plays for Venezia.
You did.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He actually Vanessa sold them. They had like an issue.
Really?
Yeah.
Venezia sold him?
Yeah, I think he went to Marseille, I think, or something in France. Yeah. We'll triple check.
No, that's Tanner Testman.
You know what? My bad. Sorry. I shouldn't question your soccer
Yeah.
knowledge. Then Bucio's still there. Then,
Yeah,
right?
Bucio's in Venezia.
maybe I'll get him in Pantacalcio, and then we could you could tell him the score.
I was gonna buy Testman for my fantasy side.
We got our
and then he left.
we got our draft we got our
Right.
we got our market coming up in
So you play with Bucio. I mean, guys, this is huge. I mean, in Serie A, playing with Bucio. I mean, Bucio
Yeah.
has a contract probably a few $1 million a year.
Yeah, he's
you know?
a good player, big player as
I mean,
well.
we want to see you too in Venezia.
I would like to.
I'll draft you on my fantasy team.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean,
I get him first though.
I'll make
First
you-
pick.
So you go to the national team, and then someone like Fulham scouted you or
Yeah.
somebody, and they're like, hey.
yeah. So there's different like European teams that were interested in me, and then
So this is because I remember, we're in the neighborhood. So I remember hearing like, oh, there's this kid in Ridgewood. He's like, he plays in England, and my nephew was at Ridgewood at the time. So I mean, I didn't really know you at the time, but I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, how did you do school? Like, your parents are like, okay, I'm just gonna like leave high school and go there. What was that like?
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So freshman and sophomore year of high school, I missed probably 2.5, 3 months of school, like each year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was just traveling either with the U.S. or like
Really?
we had academy tournaments, so we'd have like away trips for like a weekend in San Diego. Or,
So all those threats my high school gave me was all false.
yeah.
Can't miss like 10 days or you flunk.
I mean, I was happy.
kidding.
I was seriously, I was grateful that Ridgewood helped me and supported me because I feel like schools wouldn't take that like as like
you can't.
They
Like, how
wouldn't-
would you?
I mean,
how did,
I feel like the
Yeah, they
teachers
help you out.
Yeah, they understood, and
Yeah.
I feel like some teachers would kind of like ignore it and be like, okay, like you're missing school, but like I feel like here in Ridgewood, and I think even in Norwich, like I think they're like a city that are like proud of me,
yeah.
and
100%.
and they were very supportive with me throughout my like high school experience, and I can't like thank Ridgewood
Ah,
enough.
there
and,
you go.
And even Ridgewood,
Shout out.
shout out Ridgewood
Shout
High
out,
School
yeah.
and Union Ridge.
That's good
All right.
feedback.
Yeah.
We both have kids.
Yeah, my kids go
and
there.
They go to Ridgewood.
Yeah.
So it's a good feedback.
Yeah,
So,
but
so anyway, yeah. So they scout. You get caught. So you got to figure out how to go. Like, okay, I'm gonna leave the country and go there. You're what? How old?
17.
17.
I mean, he got a professional contract.
I know, he's
with
17.
Fulham. I understand, but that's usually what happens when you're professional.
Oh yeah.
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 Around 16, 17, you get.
Yeah. So then, so you get there. Was it like? I mean, now you're leaving your family. You're gonna live on your own at 17.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was difficult. I was homesick for sure. But I
Yeah.
lived with a host family.
Wow.
Oh really?
Yeah, cause I still couldn't like live on my own at 17. I
Yeah.
had to once I turned 18, then I could move into my own apartment.
Ah, okay.
So for a few months, I stayed with a host family, and I wouldn't say I had like the best experience.
Oh,
with them.
really?
Yeah. So it was
that's-
difficult for
I was
me.
waiting for that part.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. It wasn't the best experience.
Oh
but-
man.
Sucks.
But yeah, it helped. It definitely helped me for sure because like I had to like mature and like
Yeah.
be a man early on, and yeah, and then COVID happened. So I moved to England. I think it was September of 2019, and then COVID happened 2020, and then I came back to Chicago for 4.5 months, 5 months, and then I came back to England. And then I played for. What was it, like a month and a half, 2 months almost, and then I had a serious injury. on
Oh
my
really?
ankle. Yeah.
Oh man. And then
Yeah.
you had to.
Yeah, I had surgery on my ankle.
Oh, wow, man.
I had a torn tendon, and yeah, I was out for 6.5 months.
How was the competition out there?
Yeah, it's good. It's difficult, especially when you're a foreigner. If you're not English, if you're not French, you're not Spanish.
It's
If
intense.
you're an American player,
They.
like you see it like now in Serie A, like with Pulisic, you see with Busio, you just see it in general with a lot of like American players going to Europe. Like if you go there, you have to perform. Like, you can't be good. You have to be.
You have to be really good.
You have to be the
or else
best.
they're gonna kick you out.
I feel
Yeah.
like you guys are getting American players are getting a little bit more respect now,
Yeah.
lately. And
Yeah.
maybe Puzelich is helping a lot. You know, Wea and and Juventus.
Well,
and Lazio. But like an example, you could be Brazilian and just have a Brazilian name, and they will respect you more, even if you're not.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
player.
yeah. We had some Brazilian players on my fantasy team, and they sucked. And
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but I'm
yeah,
saying
no,
the
no.
Ameri- the
But like,
Ameri-
yeah,
the
what he's saying,
American
because there's a
kid-
stigma. There's like, okay,
There's a
he's
stigma.
probably not good.
Yeah.
And then if you don't perform good, you're like, all right, he stinks. Get him
There's a
out.
stigma in Europe with the American player.
100%.
It's true. They're like, they're American. They're American. They only do baseball. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, then it's harder for you to go to Fulham and prove yourself when everybody's already kind of like, they're all against you.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
And I'd say the competition is high, but I think the most important thing was like, I was homesick, but I feel like growing up, like with David, for example, because there's such a huge age gap between us. It's 8 years, right? It's 8 years. We're 8 years. Yeah, we're 8 years.
He doesn't want to share his age, maybe.
Listen, you guys look.
I think it's 8 or 9 years.
For me, you guys look similar because he looks younger, of course, and then you're mature for your age.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
I
giving you a
appreciate
compliment.
that. Thank you.
And so you guys look really like within maybe a couple years.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 hours.
But it's a huge.
that big
Yeah.
gap.
But it's a huge gap, and I'd say when me and David were younger, like we kind of like butt heads all the time. And then I think once I left to England, and then I was kind of going through those tough times, like I felt like David and I grew closer.
Yeah.
And I
You
think
missed each other.
Yeah, and I
So,
think that
yeah.
like gave us the relationship we
That's
have
awesome.
now.
That's
'Cause I
really
feel
good.
like, when you're siblings in general, like you always butt heads.
Yeah.
And then once you realize like one like
It's gone.
is gone,
Yeah.
then you're just like, wow, like
Yeah.
actually miss this annoying kid. And then it also helped though too that like I matured a lot,
Yeah.
like at an early
get it.
stage, because David was a lot older than me.
Yeah.
So I think,
Makes sense.
yeah, I definitely feel like those tough times for me in England
Yeah.
helped me.
Yeah. It helps
So,
you.
so we're talking before this, like they go through a day of when you're in high school, right? Your training, like before,
Yeah.
like when you go to school here,
Yeah.
like you get up, what time? Just
Like
so people understand,
6:30.
like you didn't just, I was just born good at
Yeah,
goalie.
so I'll give him my freshman and sophomore year of high school schedule. So I would wake up at like 6:30.
Yeah.
My friend's parents had a garage, like a big garage, and like we'd train there in the morning. So we'd start training at 7. I'd drive home, shower up, eat really quickly, and then I'd go to school. Sorry.
But anyway, you'd get up early.
But, yeah.
You would train, and you
So
train in the
I-
beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Then middle of the day you would train again.
yeah. So pretty much I had.
And
3
then it
trainings
wasn't
a
like you
day.
didn't just Tuesday, Thursday I'm gonna practice at 5 o'clock and get home at 7 and that's it.
Yeah.
No, you train 2 times a day and then do practice at night every day.
I had like a strength and conditioning coach that I'd work with before training, and then I'd have training at like 6:30.
Yeah.
13, 14-hour days.
Yeah.
He missed the most important part, which was if he didn't get his homework done,
Yeah.
he wasn't allowed to train.
Wow.
All right.
That was Dad's moment.
That was tough.
That's what my dad said.
Wow.
If you don't finish your homework, you're not
Makes
gonna go
sense.
train.
Yeah.
And he would get so
Yeah.
upset about that. But
So I did my homework in the car, and I would take naps in the car.
Yeah.
I would fall asleep in the car if I had like a
Yeah.
30, 45-minute drive.
But your dad is kind of like, don't get me wrong, you might become, best player in the world. So,
Yeah.
we want you to do that. But you got to have options in life. So your
Yeah,
dad wanted to make
100%.
sure that you had an option.
Yeah.
Just in case, later on. Or even when if soccer players retire like at 35, 40,
Yeah.
you have a whole life. What are you going to do? At least
Yeah.
you have something else.
Yeah, I think nowadays I feel like, for me, like hearing David like speak
Yeah.
with you guys in general, and even David like doing work with you guys.
Right.
It's definitely given me a different like perception
Yeah.
of life, because I understand soccer's my job,
Yeah, of
but at the
course.
same time it's not my entire identity
Correct.
of a person. And I feel like nowadays there's players that retire and some of them make more money after they retire,
They do, 100%.
being
And-
an entrepreneur or real estate or whatever they
Yeah.
have.
Or they become, like we were talking, off cameras before, they become bums, like Adriano.
Yeah.
Sorry for Adriano,
Yeah,
because
but it's the truth.
great
That's the
Brazilian
reality.
Players,
Yeah.
and now he's broken. He's literally like homeless almost.
Yeah, he's in the
I know.
It's the reality, and
You know?
I feel like nowadays it's easier to get lost in that because there's like a lifestyle of an athlete.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like you know, maybe your parents was a lot to do with it, and where you grew up. And
Yeah.
your brother. You're really humble. You know what I mean? And being humble, I think, is huge because a lot of people, probably kids at your age, saying like, "Hey, I had a," you know what I mean? It would be in
Be in their head.
it would be in their head. They would not probably wouldn't even be at this podcast. They would like feel like they're too good. So you're humble, and that's huge, man.
And
Yeah.
he's a little too humble, but it's phenomenal because it's really good. Not too many pro athlete players are humble. So like
Absolutely.
after every single game, he'll actually walk around the entire field
Wow.
and sign autographs.
For
and
real,
he's one of the only ones that do that. So even at Austin and in Louisville,
I love
or
it.
even I know I
And
pronounced
he gave us
incorrectly.
an autograph too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mine, Frank. I just want to let you know.
I'll give you a jersey.
Oh, hey, he's gonna give me the 2025 New Jersey, whatever. Give me the
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
I get the first one when you go to you go to Arsenal. I'm gonna
Okay.
get your dream jersey.
Arsenal.
No, the first jersey's for my parents.
All right, I'll
and
second.
then
You give me the
get
away.
second
All
one.
right, the away. I am good with it. I'm
None
good
of
with
the
it.
jerseys fit me, so that's
We need to get David a
Dude, I don't know, man. You,
bigger jersey. He needs
a
extra
training
extra
jersey or
large.
something. Extra training jersey or
Yeah.
something. You know?
David needs extra large. I'm
I mean, he's not a
But-
soccer body. you
No.
know? It's,
No.
I
yeah, you,
used to.
it's a good body, but it's not soccer body.
I mean, like I used to be a lot smaller. I mean, I'm an inch taller than Damian, but like I look at some of the old photos and I'm like, man, dude, like what happened to you? Like you just got big and that was it. But I mean, I think it's like kind of let myself go a little bit, and then I just
you're
started.
fine.
But then I started.
It's a different.
hitting the gym,
You look
so-
fit.
Yeah, you're fit. Man. I don't, wait, what do
You
you?
have to take care of yourself
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. No, but it's awesome, man. Damien, so right now, so going back, you came back. Now you have a you play for Austin.
Yeah.
FC, right?
Yeah.
And then this year you were, because I watch your videos, and this year you started, they loaned you
Yeah.
to Louisville, and man, you did a great season. You played all the games. You played
Yeah.
34, 35 games.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing, man.
No, I appreciate it.
How many penalties you
Saved?
saved? Yeah, because I saw like a
Saved
few.
two?
Two?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I should have saved a little bit more, but that's okay.
I mean, two. Come on, man. There's goalies don't even their whole career they don't save
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. But when it comes to things like that, it's just it's really hard to read it. That's the biggest thing. Like when someone's shooting a penalty at you,
Yeah.
like just from like old experience, it's just like you're just like you try to pay attention to the eye, but then he's thinking, okay, well I'm gonna look this way, but I'm actually gonna go the other way. So now it's just
So what do you pay
it's a
attention?
guessing game. It's a 50-50.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's your? We're not gonna say it here.
You look
No,
at the
I
ball
mean-
and look at the player.
I look at like a lot of details to it, but I mean I don't know who's gonna watch this podcast. You never know,
That's
but
true. That's true.
but-
We won't
I get
say.
it.
You don't have to say.
no,
Keep your
but
secret.
there's no. In all honesty, like I do a lot of scouting before games.
So you'll see like scout a
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, I'll scout like players. Before
I got a
the-
lot of film
before
on
the
Greg
game.
if you ever.
Yeah,
have to take-
perfect. I'll need
You
it.
do your homework.
Yeah,
You have
I
to.
do my homework.
So
yeah.
you see how they take a penalty.
Yeah.
Not all
Like we had
players do that.
Jorginho,
Yeah.
you know.
I
That's
do.
why he got missed by like 7 penalties for Italy, you know.
So yeah,
Pretty cool.
I do my homework
You do your
before
homework,
games.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not all every player is like that, Frank.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in real estate. Half of the agents work and half of the agents are lazy. It
Yeah.
is what it is. It's the truth.
Yeah.
And positive soccer players, not everybody's like
Yeah.
they're partying the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, but,
That's really
um,
cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Wow.
I do my homework and
so you're kind of like, okay, I got this guy. Like he's shot a couple. You saw like 3 or 4 of them. He went this way, went that
Yeah.
way. So
and then like I try to see like the most recent penalties he shot before the game, and usually like if they score from that
They're
the
gonna
way
go-
they're
yeah.
gonna go the same way, and then if they missed earlier,
we did that here, you know.
Yeah.
Like last time, if you negotiate a deal, we're like, oh, I know how this guy works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
that's
this attorney. We're like, oh, I know what he's gonna do.
So
I know what he's gonna do.
but I mean I look at everything.
Yeah.
I look at like I guess like homework, but it's like a scout before
A
games.
little bit, yeah.
Or like I don't know, even from like the center backs, like how
Yeah.
if they're good at set pieces,
Yeah.
like
Makes
different shots that the
Yeah, yeah,
number
yeah.
nines or the wingers shot throughout
What's
the season.
what's your favorite formation, if I could ask? Like, what do you prefer? Like, now we're gonna get into soccer.
Soccer,
I
okay.
like formation. I've been following forever. So, as a goalie, do you like a lineup with 4, 3, What's your favorite?
I like it with 3 center backs.
Three?
Yeah.
3 center backs.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you have 4, you only have really 2 center backs,
Yeah.
and the other 2 guys are wide
Yeah.
on the side to go up and down.
Yeah, I like playing with 3, like a back 3. That's how you say it, like
Yeah,
a back
yeah,
3,
yeah.
and then there's like you have the two wing backs.
Yeah.
So like the left and right wing back, and they're kind of like moving up and down.
So
the
you got the
field.
wing back to 5 because you will play like a 3-5-2.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
the 2 are like helping out as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So you like to play like Conte, Frank,
Yeah.
Antonio Conte. Not,
I like to.
It's Antonio Conte stuff.
Yeah, my style of play is more like kind of building out. I don't like playing like those dumping the ball and like
Yeah.
hitting 60, 70 yard balls, and like I don't like soccer like that. I
Yeah.
feel like soccer is like not an art, but like it's a game that should be played like,
Yeah.
very well and technical, but also tactical.
Yeah.
Tactical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like a chess.
Yeah, it's a game of chess.
It's
It
a game
really
of chess,
is.
right? Like
Yeah.
like some people that don't understand soccer, nothing wrong if you guys like other sports. But there's a lot of people, like even my video guy here, Carlos, he's like making fun of soccer a little bit. I was talking last night. I'm like, dude, you just don't understand the
Yeah.
game. The game is so complex. It's
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it depends on who you're playing, how you
Yeah.
how you counter things and all that.
But I mean, I don't know. It's different. Some people like don't like the sport and you respect it, but
Yeah, of course.
everyone's perception of or like perspective of like for example, me like Carlos, I don't know what sports do you like?
Oh, really? Carlos, yeah.
Boxing? Okay. I like football as well and boxing. But like for example, like baseball.
Yeah.
Like I've been to one baseball game and I thought it was the most boring sport ever.
Well, they're having trouble. That's why, like, so
So I don't know if I can say that on here, but
you can say it.
I don't think it's
He hates baseball.
I don't think it's a enjoyable sport.
Or he not. He doesn't hate
Yeah.
baseball.
Wait.
He likes to
come.
come.
I send the Cubs and Sox schedule, for marketing. But do I like the sport? No.
Hey, Damian, tell them a little bit about how you talk on the field, because you like your layout.
Yeah.
Tell them about how you communicate with your players.
Yeah, so as a goalkeeper, you have to be like the most vocal player
Yeah.
on the field. So I've gotten a lot more mature on the field. Like I've gotten more calmer, but when I was younger, I was a lot more like erratic and aggressive.
Wow. With the players?
Yeah, with the players. And like as you
With
get
your team?
Yeah,
I mean,
with my
Because
teammates.
they're not coming back defending
Yeah.
or missing. Okay.
But like at the same time, like now I'm not playing with guys my age or like,
They're a little older, maybe.
yeah, these are like grown men I'm playing with.
30s,
Yeah, in their
20s,
30s,
yeah.
like married with kids. And each player responds to the way I yell or.
So you respect them now,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit. But I mean.
But I try to say it not like in a uncontrollable way or like a aggressive
Yeah.
way, just kind of like
Yeah.
with like a bit of a voice.
Yeah, but I feel like in soccer you do gotta have that little grit too.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
You can't be like too. And I could see it from the game. I'm not an expert, more
Yeah.
than me, but the teams with a little bit more grit, more passion.
Yeah. That's-
you could tell.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see it in like the highest level, like players that if they win a tackle or if they score the game-winning goal,
Yeah.
if they make like the right pass, if they defend the
Yeah.
box well, if they win a header, block
Yeah.
a shot, like they're
Yeah.
all so passionate about it. And like
Exactly.
that's the next level is like having that passion and
That mindset, right?
Yeah, that,
It's
like,
a lot of
grit
soccer's
and-
mindset too.
Yeah.
Versus an example. I know we're gonna name the best soccer players ever. Like Ronaldo. Ronaldo mindset is insane.
If you didn't play soccer, you'd be a construction worker.
yeah, I'd be going to school and be a construction worker.
Why would?
I don't know. I feel like that's just like the typical
That's your
Polish man.
that's your
Yeah.
destiny.
Yeah.
You'd probably be doing them you'd be in the construction field, but more like construction management or something.
You said
somewhere
you
around there.
said physical therapy.
Well,
Well,
if,
I
if-
don't know.
If he was to go into construction, somewhere around there, he wouldn't get his hands dirty. He'd be telling people what to do.
Yeah,
You think?
I mean.
probably. I mean, my dad
What did he do?
My dad was a construction worker growing up.
Yeah.
So I just probably follow.
Yeah, Pops was a foreman.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah?
I mean, sometimes there's a lot of Polish contractors, and they're in construction, and they own half of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
They build homes, and
Yeah.
it's not.
Did-
It's a
not
good business.
It's not a bad
Yeah,
business,
listen. You could be successful at anything,
Yeah.
or you could work really, really hard and not like be that successful. But you could. It all takes work. So you got to kind of
Right.
use your mind to figure it
Yeah.
out. But I mean, you're not gonna play soccer forever. Do you
Yeah.
ever think of like what you might do?
Yeah, no, I have different ideas, but I think it's good.
I mean,
that-
you're still young.
Yeah, but it's good for me to like speak with you guys, but also like with my brother, for example. David's a lot older than me,
Yeah.
And he's like in a different stage of life. I'm still in a different stage of life. And for me, it just like seeing him grow and mature and like kind of have these ideas of
Correct.
his future definitely gave me a different way of thinking of life
Yeah.
after soccer.
Yeah.
Because for me, for example, I'm not going to be playing soccer forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope I have the longest career I can have.
Of course.
Like Buffon. Buffon was playing till what, 43,
Still
44?
playing? I think he's still
I
playing.
don't know if he's still playing.
I think he quit last year, was he?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But like in reality, Buffon's one of
Yeah.
how many that can do
No,
that.
it's one of
And
the few.
I think for me, being 22,
Yeah.
like, it's really important for me to either go back to school or just learn. I'm really young. I have all this time after training. I don't want to waste my time playing video games or
You should. I mean, if you're after training, you have some downtime. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You should
Yeah.
learn a new craft, a new skill,
hobby or
a
whatever.
hobby, whatever,
Yeah.
something.
Or take
I-
knock some
100%.
classes out.
yeah.
You know.
That's what I'm
Did
gonna
you-
do.
Did you ever after high school? Did you ever do any? No, nothing.
I was going to in England, but I saw the tuition in England, and I was like, yeah, I don't. It was a full ride, sure, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah, it's expensive.
very expensive. I didn't know how expensive college was until I was until I wanted to pay for college
I wanted to-
myself.
until I wanted to go.
And I was like, you know what? I'll wait it out. It's all right.
Yeah,
But-
I'm kind of looking at that now. It's pretty
Yeah.
disgusting. Like, it's just and they don't tell you. I'm like,
No.
okay, so well, you'll probably get this, probably get that, and I'm like, oh, so it's gonna be less? Like, yeah, probably. And then I talk to other people, like, actually, it'll be more. I'm like, seriously? So I don't even know. I'll find out next year how much this stuff goes.
You've been watching you've been at the stadium, right?
Yeah.
To go see him play.
Oh my God, it's one of the most stressful things on the planet.
Well, how come?
Why are you stressing your brother out, man?
I mean, it's you just you want your brother to do the best. I mean, watching him grow, not watching him grow up, but just watching him play while he was growing up.
Yeah.
I've seen him get kicked in the head. I've seen him stomped on. I mean, I felt the same pain before too. I blocked the goal and the dude, he was just pissed and he just kicked me in the ribs.
Wow.
For no reason. I mean, but this is it's one of those sports where it's physical. It's like, oh, it could have been an accident. I know it wasn't an accident because we shared some words after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my biggest fear is, when he plays on the field, yes, I want them to win and I want him to have a clean sheet, but I don't want him to get hurt. That's the biggest thing.
Sorry to interrupt, David, but just for people that don't know, a clean sheet means like not conceding a goal
Sorry.
throughout a game. So just making sure if you win a game 2-0 that there's zero on the scoreboard, meaning a clean
But
sheet.
how
no
much is
goal.
that on the goalie though? Like really, it's
I mean, it depends on like the actions.
yeah,
throughout
I
the
know,
game,
but it's like, is it really like there could be obviously you can make a mistake.
I mean, there's been a couple times this season where we're up 2-3-0, and it's the 86th, 87th minute, and they just score a goal, and I'm just losing my head because I'm like,
Come on, man.
yeah, I really wanted that clean sheet.
You wanted that clean sheet.
But that's part of it, and I
Right.
can't control that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's times where, I can do better and save the ball or be in a better position, but sometimes that's just part of the game. So
And the only thing is he can't be too hard on himself because it's, you have the defenders as well that you have to take into account because he can only do so much on his end because the goal is huge. And he can't stretch his arms out that far.
Yeah, of course, of course. But the stadium you were going was it in Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people?
So-
15,000 something.
Usually it would range, I mean, always dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
So I think the smallest amount that I saw was 8,500, give or take.
it's not bad.
So my biggest question that I have, just curious, right? Because I know you saw this how it goes with the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
The fans and everything, and then you've been in a baseball game,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like for the public too, there's a big difference when you go watch a baseball game and watch a soccer game.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like you're just grabbing your hot dog and just chilling.
No, there's a lot more
You know?
passion into it.
Yeah.
A lot more
Baseball's more like-
energy.
Yeah, baseball's kind of like you're going out with the family, watch a movie almost.
Yeah. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, I
No,
feel like
I love.
Well,
mean,
I think it's a different
I
sport.
love
I
great
grew up here, so I
experience.
think it's a different sport.
know?
I think
Yeah.
people, it's interesting when I hear like people that don't watch soccer watch it, and especially if it's like an intense game. They're like, yeah, it's like you can't really stop watching it
Yeah.
because you could miss something. Where American sports have a lot of breaks.
yeah.
The soccer is only halftime. Like you could, if you get up and like leave the TV or whatever,
No.
you could miss something happen because
Yeah.
it only takes a few seconds.
I mean-
Where
I mean,
baseball, there's a lot of stopping time.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't know. I think it's different for like everyone, but for me, for example, like the couple times I watch baseball, yeah, it's cool. It's really interesting. It's don't get me wrong. I have respect for baseball players. It's a hard sport as well. You have to swing a ball, swing a bat.
Not according to Pete Rose. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
who Pete Rose is.
No.
Pete Rose, he got banned for gambling, but he was like one of the best hitters.
Okay,
But if you're batting 300, it means you're like,
really good.
yeah, you're really good. But that's what he said. That means he's like you could fail 7 times and still make it in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
That's what he says. But it's a really hard sport. But I think they're having a hard time with younger people because when I was a kid, there was no internet, nothing. They're having a hard time for younger people to get into the sport because it's slower moving.
Oh, okay.
They put like time limits now on between pitches. Like they have to move faster. So yeah. So I mean, they're struggling trying to adjust because the generation now. Like when I went and go home from school, that's all you had a talk show, a soap opera, or the Cubs game. That was their choices. Now the kid can watch anything they want.
Yeah.
They could pick whatever they want to watch. So no one's really watching it anymore, or less people. The younger generation,
Yeah.
it's all old timers. But yeah,
The games,
No, it's not. It's
the
not.
games in Europe or even here, soccer. The fans are going crazy. Like the two fans are not mixed from the opposite teams. They're like they put them on purpose, separately.
Yeah.
Because if they're mixed together, they're gonna start. There's gonna be fights.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Right.
game that we went to at Columbus, Ohio. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played a final last year.
Okay.
In Columbus,
Okay.
and my brother and his girlfriend decided to go to
you wanna-
the fan, like the home fan, like you know how they have like the
Yeah,
homes,
the
stand
Wait,
like, behind the goal, behind the goal.
So he was on the other team
No,
side.
yeah, he was there, and then like they saw that David had like a lost jersey on,
Oh,
and he was like
I
getting
didn't care.
abused for
I
it.
gotta support my little guy.
Yeah,
Well,
and, like,
did you purposely pick the seat though?
So
Sounds like you did.
what I did,
You wanted to get
so I
beat
took
up.
so I took the
Yeah, he's kind of asking.
Wait,
like,
wait.
let me see. Oh, where are the fans? I'm gonna go sit
So what
there
I-
and wear my brother's
Yeah,
jersey.
so what I did was they're like, "Oh, you can't be here," and it was actually the security that told me they're like, "Oh, you can't be here because this is the fan section." I was like,
right.
"Okay." So I thought about it for a second. I was like, "Oh, wait, let me just take the jersey off because I have a black shirt underneath, and their colors are black and yellow." So I was like, "Okay, see now I'm a fan." So I gave my shirt to my girlfriend. She stood back. She was back up top, and I went down by the goal, and I was like, "Hey, Damian, you got this. Let's go. Block the game." And then someone, said some stuff, and I just in one out the other, just because, it's my little brother, and it's just you hear how people talk, and I love how he does not let people get into his head. Like the things that they say, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I've heard some bad stuff.
I mean,
Yeah, but I
Like
love.
in England, sorry, David, I cut you off. But in England, like I was on loan and I played at like a 5th division team,
Yeah.
and like I had like 12-year-olds saying I had 12-year-olds. I had like senior citizens, like just. And the thing is like. The goal is there.
Yeah, they're like
and,
right-
And it's
they're like right there.
a yard away, and like they're right.
yeah, they're
in
basically right here.
Yeah, and like some of the stuff they said to me, I will never forget. But
12-year-old kid.
Yeah, 12-year-old kid. They're like 70, 80-year-old men, and they had like a pint of beer.
Yeah.
And they're just drinking it, and they're like right behind you in the
the
ear.
hooligans.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
So yeah, so I explained that.
12-year-old.
So that's different from American sports. So you could get loaned.
Yeah.
So tell everyone what that is. Like if you get loaned, so you're playing your contracts with what team are you actually contracted to?
So I'm contracted to Austin FC.
No, before when I'm saying in England when you were on
Oh,
loan.
I was with at Fulham.
Yeah, so you're at Fulham, and now you're like, hey, you're not really. They don't have playing time for you, so we're just gonna like loan you to another team. So it'd be like to use NFL, like the Bears are gonna loan you to. Would this be accurate?
What is it? San Diego. Who won it? The Dodgers. LA
Oh,
Dodgers.
the LA, yeah.
So like for example, the
Oh,
LA
so-
Dodgers
yeah, go
have
to
like
triple-
they have like a younger player.
Yeah, like a younger.
and they send them to like a AAA team.
Yeah, so you're gonna go from the Dodgers. You're gonna play where Carlos goes his baseball team, the Rosemont Dogs.
Yeah.
and you're gonna go play there.
Yeah, for
and then,
like
then
couple games, and then
his 12-year-old son is gonna say
Yeah, he's
wicked
gonna-
stuff to you.
yeah, he's gonna abuse you, yeah.
abuse you. He's
gonna make you. He's gonna get a reality check.
his
But soccer games are pretty intense.
Yeah,
it's
but-
just intense environment.
It's part of it, and I feel like you know, everyone, there's loads of people that are soccer fans and like they love the game, but
Yeah.
it's different when you're actually like on the field. And like, for example, like my parents, David, my girlfriend, David's girlfriend, like they all like understand like I would say the lifestyle, but the pros and cons of like being an athlete. And I'm happy that I have the great support system I have
yeah.
that help, you know, experience all these things
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the journey with me.
Yeah.
And that's thanks to my parents, David,
pretty
my
cool.
girlfriend.
Do you? So why don't you talk about some of the cons?
The cons?
Yeah, because everyone kind of knows the pros.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, you're playing, you go to play a sport.
Yeah.
You know, or if you want to, you don't have to.
The cons, injuries. Injuries are
Yeah.
a big one.
I mean, you had one.
Yeah,
You had
I've
six
had-
months to recover.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, so a short story. I had a serious injury. I was out for 6.5 months. First session back, I'm playing like a 5v5 in training. The guy tries to dribble around me. I stuck my hand out. I like hyperextended my arm. Then he blasted the ball and my arm went back. And I had like a partial,
me
like
sick.
Tommy John.
Oh, it was Steven
Yeah.
Seagal movie?
Yeah, it was like I had like a partial tear here. It's called like the Tommy John, and then I was out for another like 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and then I went on loan to a team in North Carolina. I made my debut in North Carolina on a Friday. Sunday we trained because we had a midweek game on Wednesday, and then we were doing like crossing, and like we're doing a goalkeeper training, and they crossed the ball, and I tried to punch it. And I landed on both arms straight, and then I hyperextended it, and I landed on it straight like that, and it clicked again, Tommy John. And then I went to the doctors in North Carolina, and I remember the doctor was telling me like, "Oh, you need surgery for your Tommy John." But at that stage, I was doing push-ups, I was doing pull-ups,
Yeah.
I was doing dips. Like it didn't hurt at all. It was just like a little bit of swelling. And then he was like, "You need surgery." I'm like, "How long would I be out for if I had surgery?" He said 9 months.
Oh,
my
man.
And I was like, "I'm sorry, I just came back from like a 7-month injury. I'm okay." And then I asked him this probably shouldn't be the best thing to ask a doctor, but I said, "Can you recheck like the MRI? Or can you see if you're looking at the right MRI?" So, and then he goes back, he's like, "Yeah, I'll like double check." But he felt like a little bit offended that I like asked
Yeah,
him that
of course.
question. And yeah, he came back and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like I was looking at your MRI from when you first heard it. And you didn't need it. You didn't need surgery on your
Oh, yeah.
Tommy John."
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, and then I just left. I was like, "Oh, yeah, yippee. Yeah, I'm so happy." Wow.
You want to check it? I mean, I don't like to hear that. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
You know, when you get to the highest level, like
Yeah.
it's
So-
really hard to remain there.
So how is it like? I always wondered that. You're on a team. They're like, oh, go. So like today you're playing for this team. Then tomorrow you go there. Like you just
Yeah.
show up in the locker room. Like
Yeah.
how does that like the team like respond? Is it usually pretty welcoming, or are they like
I mean, you have
whatever, or is it just?
You have to earn your right for sure. I'll give you a good example. Like in this year, I was with Austin, and then I went on loan to Louisville, and then Louisville came to Austin to play like a friendly, like it was like a preseason game
Yeah.
between both of us. So I was training for like a couple weeks with Austin because that's like my
Yeah,
the club
your team. Yeah.
I signed for or I'm with. And then they sent me on loan to Louisville for the rest of the season. But Louisville came to Austin, so I trained with Louisville a Friday, and then we had a I never met anyone on the team. I only spoke to the coach once, or like a few times before I moved to Louisville on loan. So they came in. I trained with them Friday. Friday morning I trained with them. Saturday I went to the hotel with them in Austin. I stayed the night with them in Austin, and then I met everyone like at breakfast. Like for the first time, I like shook everyone's hand, and like. Yeah, it's weird, but I feel like I'm someone that's like respectful and
Yeah,
like I'm
I
kind.
was just wondering how they work.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a weird dynamic, but like I'm lucky or fortunate enough that like I can.
But thank God this year, sorry, going off topic, you
Yeah.
were not injured. You played the whole
Yeah.
season.
That's the
a
most
lot of
important thing.
games. I mean, that's huge. This
Yeah.
year you had a great year.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's just
it's huge.
you just got to keep going every year. It's
Yeah.
a bigger step and bigger goals each year.
Yeah.
Realistic goals, but you always have to dream
Of
big.
course, of
Yeah.
course.
No, but
Oh yeah, his team loved me. They kept asking when am I coming back.
yeah, but
To
I
toot
think
my own horn, but still.
yeah, but I feel like David and I are like they say, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
I know David is in a completely different different situation than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an athlete. David works in real estate.
Yeah.
But I feel like both of us like appreciate and respect that we're both working our tail off every single day, regardless of whatever's going on in life.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Like you can't complain. Like you just
Correct.
have to work hard and
Correct.
whatever adversity you have to face, like you have to just like
Keep on going.
Yeah, keep on going.
That's it.
I think that's another thing that I've respected a lot is seeing David. I mean, even with the 2 closing he's done, like how much he's grinded and
Correct.
worked hard.
Exactly.
And yeah, I mean, it's thanks to both of you guys for that. But
No,
I
it's
know
all-
the hard
it's all
work.
right.
That's it, man. He's
I
the
have
one
to,
putting
I have
in the
to put in the
work.
work too. If I
Yeah.
didn't ask questions, if I didn't reach
Yeah,
out to
you
them,
gotta put in the work.
I
There's
got
people, there's
nothing,
people
man.
that don't do it. They
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've asked some really interesting questions. I had, what was it? The last question I asked, I answered myself. I was like,
You
oh
did.
wait,
He
I know
did.
the answer to this.
Yeah, he did. He asked the questions, and then probably 10 minutes in, we're about to get to the question, and he just answers himself. He's like, "Oh,
Oh, I know which contract it is. It's the same contract.
Yeah, but no, it's another con.
yeah, pretty cool."
I would say like traveling. Sorry, I kind of like went into this weave of
go
different
ahead.
answers, but yeah, I would say another con is definitely like, you know, you have contracts for 2 years, 3 years, and like it's really hard to sign it for a team,
Yeah,
and you stay there for a long periods
Yeah.
of time. If you stay at a club for like 10 years, 7, 8 years, like that's a lot of respect for that
yeah,
player.
100%.
Because for me, for example, like my life has been on like suitcases.
Yeah.
Like I've been in England for 2 years. While I was in England, I went to North Carolina for 4 or 5 months on loan, and then I went back to England. After that, I moved all my things to Austin.
Yeah.
I was in Austin, a year and a half, 2 years, and I went on loan to Louisville, and now I have a guaranteed contract in Austin. But for me, you never know what happens in
Yeah,
soccer.
you could, yeah.
So
But almost like once you reach like that big team, even the big players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get there too. They move around too a lot.
Yeah, they
You know what
do.
I mean? You know, and maybe there's some players, especially these days, there's
Yeah.
not like anymore like a Maldini or Totti
Yeah.
where they play like forever in their team. You know?
yeah, but it's hard. I mean, who's been
yeah.
like Steven Gerrard?
Yeah.
Frank
Steven Gerrard.
Lampard.
Yeah, those they don't exist anymore.
No.
You know, it's hard.
No, it's very hard.
Super hard. But yeah, I feel like, you know, in my opinion, you're gonna move again. I'm sorry to tell you, because once you're gonna have a great year in Austin, somebody from Europe is gonna buy you,
Yeah.
and you know, Austin will make money, and you'll be having a pretty maybe play Arsenal.
I'd like to play in Italy. That would be nice.
I mean, Italy would be good.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll come see you for sure.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he's just
Yeah.
saying that because he's around Italians right now, but who
No,
knows?
I think
love-
you'll be a good match for the Italian culture and,
Yeah, I like-
and soccer there. Like we're Premier League, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, just like that 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they are.
I mean, for me, like, whatever's the best scenario for me for my development as a person, as a like athlete and player is the best. But
Maybe we should shout out to the Fiorentina president of Fiorentina.
Yeah. And Regina too.
¿Cómo se llama? Yeah, he's American.
Well, the Fiorentina guy is from Canada.
He's from New York. And he should maybe look into, you know,
Even the Roma,
Damian.
even the Roma guy's, he's American too.
That's right. We have a lot of Americans.
See?
Big team, so why not?
Yeah, let's go Fiorentina. Let's
you
see.
got to work hard. and
I could see
see
him
what
in a purple
happens.
shirt. That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
You know, and Rocco's not like you know, some of these guys like Roma or Milan. It's more like an equity firm.
Yeah.
You know, this guy is his. He.
No, he's funny.
He's from nowhere. Like he born
Yeah.
like regular family.
Yeah.
Went to wealth management. He's self-made,
Yeah.
and he owns Fiorentina himself.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's
So-
sometimes he'll be doing an interview. He speaks like old, like Italian, like dialect
Yeah,
Italian, so
yeah,
he
he
doesn't speak
speaks
proper.
proper. Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's almost like a hillbilly, you
Yeah.
know, when they
Yeah.
get the proper people
And they make fun of him.
and they make
Like,
fun of
the
him.
Italians,
So,
they-
but he don't take care.
the
I think
Italians are cocky.
Yeah, they're cocky, and
Yeah.
so they'll be like, "Oh, why don't you do this?" It's like, it's my money. I do what I want.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do with my money. It's my team, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it
He's
should be.
Like, yeah, it's like you guys all talk internet. They're full of debt. They have debts left and right. I don't have no debt. My
know.
balance is clear. I brought Fiorentina. Like he's like.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
hardcore.
ruthless. Yeah, he doesn't
But
take
that's
it.
how it should be because
Yeah.
you see
Why not?
different teams in Europe that,
Yeah.
for example, like Barcelona, like they've they've had financial problems for a long time.
Correct. Exactly.
Or not for a long time, but for the past like couple of years. When you think of Barcelona, it's like
But isn't there like a rule with UEFA, like they can't spend
Yeah.
more than they bring
Yeah,
in,
the financial
and,
fair
and
play,
they and they don't.
I don't know about the fair play if they
Yeah.
respect it.
it's called
Like they don't. That's why they could buy everybody, and everybody else is
Yeah.
like, okay, well we can't.
But I don't know how it is, but it's like all under the table, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's like the thing. So
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
I don't really know. I just kind of just go and play soccer. I guess.
Yeah, we're not gonna
okay.
talk too much.
Yeah, I
you know,
don't wanna-
we gotta make sure.
I don't want to talk
we gotta
about the,
make sure.
the financial
Yeah,
parts
you
of
just
it.
Collect the
but-
paycheck. And
Yeah, you focus on playing.
Yeah,
and,
but
and on that Fiorentina contract.
Yeah,
coming,
that'd be cool.
You know?
I would like that a lot.
Before Arsenal, Fiorentina would be good. Arsenal, the next step
Yeah,
afterwards.
I agree.
So Roku could make money on you too. You know? Because he's gonna want that. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, but
Pretty
nah, it's
cool,
good.
man. But hey, it's been a pretty great podcast.
Yeah, it was really good.
You know,
I've been having a lot of fun.
we're gonna get into a real estate podcast soon. You're gonna be invited again. We're gonna talk about real estate today. We talked a little bit more soccer, but you know, we have a professional soccer player here, so
Oh, yeah.
we have to talk about
Oh,
soccer.
it's most definitely, yeah.
You know, and yeah, right, Frank.
That's right.
Thank you guys for this.
Oh
for
man,
this
it was a lot of
podcast.
fun. Thanks for coming.
It was my first podcast, and
It was
I've,
awesome.
I've had a blast.
Oh, have it? Yeah,
seriously.
we'll do it
You
again.
did a great job. We wish you a lot of
wish you the
luck,
best.
man.
Thank you very much.
He made
you're
sure
gonna
he
do
got a
good.
haircut before coming in today.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah,
Close
All
it
right,
out.
well that's it. Episode 37. We're looking forward to seeing Damian Las this year in the season, and then we'll always be here.
If you're gonna buy and sell,
Yeah.
call my buddy here. He's a hustler. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hustle too, but he's hustling.
He's
even
up.
more than me.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate it. You give me too much credit.
Is this the last one for 2024?
I'm not sure yet.
We'll see. Anyway, if this is the last, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you.
Just need a little faith, I've been patient, just waiting on the river with an ace. Gotta move real careful, we coming surveying.